How did you first meet McQuell?
I had the pleasure of meeting McQuell at Central Health, Virginia Baptist Hospital. I've been a nurse since 2000, so I've known him for half of my nursing career.
And what was your first impression of McQuell? What really stuck out to you about him?
McQuell worked in the cafeteria, and I'm going to tell you, he was the face of Virginia Baptist Cafeteria. When you walked in there, you could be having a bad day, and McQuell was going to make you laugh. He was going to make you smile by something that he did. McQuell had a little bit of sass about himself. He had this, cute smile. Sometimes he would wear his little color contacts. He would have his contacts in, and don't let it be somebody rubbed him the wrong way. He would cut those eyes, give you that little side eye look. And as soon as we saw it, we already knew it was on. He had this funniness about him that just made everybody laugh. So you could be having a bad day and you walked in there, as soon as you saw McQuell, he uplifted your spirit immediately.
And kind of having him as a friend, a pseudo-son, a co-worker, what kind of roles did he play in your life over the time?
McQuell was my boo. He was my boo. I affectionately use that name, Boo, but he was truly my boo. He was a work son to me. He was a brother to me. I'll be, Lord's will, 50 years old this year, so McQuell would be 34 next week. So I looked at him just as a son, a brother. He was my god bestie. I just love, we go out shopping, spending time together. I'll never forget all our dinners that we had together. There was a restaurant in Lynchburg, it's not open anymore, but we used to go for, I think it was 50-cent wing night, and he loved the lemon pepper wings, and he loved music. He was a lover of music, so they always had a live DJ there. I think it was either Wednesday nights at Tressmuir restaurant in Lynchburg. And we used to go there and just vibe and just had a good time. It would be me, my family, my husband, my kids, and some of our work family from Centra.
And kind of with the way that he would interact with others, what would you say that how did he really impact those that he knew and those that really cared for him? What was his kind of legacy of light and laughter and hope and stuff like that?
His legacy was just living life day to day with a purpose and just loving people, making you smile, making you laugh. That was mainly his thing. He was just an uplifting individual, always fun-spirited, free-spirited, and that's what made him special.
When did you leave the hospital there, and how did you guys stay in contact after that?
I left Centra in the year of 21. For a short while, my husband suffered an injury. My husband has suffered an injury, and I took some time off to take care of him. It's going to be in the way.
I didn't realize the train's going to be that loud. We should be good here. Okay, so you had left in 2021.
I left Centra in 2021, and we just always maintain our friendship, always hitting each other up on Messenger, phone calls. We just always kept in touch, always commenting on each other's posts on Facebook. And so we definitely kept in touch. There never was a broken time between us. Like I said, he came and celebrated with my daughter's graduation. Like I said, times that we celebrated family gatherings and stuff, he was there. He's been to my house several times, spent time with my family at my home, just having a good time. So.
And were you close to his family as well at all?
No, I don't know much. I do know his brother and his mom. My husband grew up with his mom, Miss Keisha Moon. So my husband do know of the family, and he knows his mom real well. So.
And do you know kind of how they're doing as well during this time?
I haven't. I think my daughter has reached out to the brother, but I have not yet. I was just kind of giving them their space right now.
And when did you find out about the horrible news? yesterday?
One of our mutual friends also works with me at Old Dominion Job Corps Center, and he saw me going into a meeting yesterday, and I knew he just didn't look right when he came to me. And I had been busy all morning. I hadn't been on the phone. I hadn't looked at anything on social media. No one had called me or anything. And he came to me and he silently said, I'm leaving early today. A friend of mine passed away. And he looks at me and he says, baby, it was Quail. And he knew that I knew Quail. And he said he didn't know how he was going to come and tell me because he knew that I was going to take it really hard. But he hugged me and told me that Quail had passed away.
What feelings were going through your head at that point? What were you thinking?
Well, I was getting ready to walk into a big meeting, and so my mind was just racing with all kinds of thoughts. And then I called my daughter, and I told her about it, and then I called my husband and shared the news with him as well. I just didn't know really how to take it at that moment.
And kind of being the next day, how are you kind of processing this? What's kind of giving you comfort through this terrible time?
I mean, just knowing that he's with the Lord gives me comfort. I think about the word, and it says in Psalms 90:12, that we are to live life with a purpose and with wisdom. And I do feel that McQuail lived that. I feel that he lived his life with purpose. I feel that he lived his life with a purpose and with wisdom. And he fulfilled that. I think he understood the assignment.
And kind of what legacy does he leave behind in your life and others? What will you really cherish over the next?
Just the impact of just his sense of humor. He was just a one-of-a-kind individual. McQuail was so handsome. So handsome. Let me tell you one thing. That man loved some music, and he loved his good haircuts. I've got video footage of him talking about his haircuts. He loved a tight haircut. He was very particular about his style and his fashion. And, he was a well put together young man. And I will miss him. I love him. He'll always be my boo.
And can you speak to just what, if you kind of saw him on his motorcycle a lot, if that was something that, no, not as much?
I really didn't get to see him on his bike as much with me not working at Centra anymore. I didn't get to see him. If I was still there, of course, I would have seen him, several days a week on his bike. I just mainly just caught him on social media with his bike. But I didn't get a chance to see him. He hadn't rode up to my house yet with his bike or anything, but I wanted him to bring him and his little puppy up there. He just wrote a cute little story about his puppy was his little boy was his whole life, his whole world. They were actually down here on Percival Ave, right in front of the love sign. And he loved taking him out for a ride. He loved riding. McQuail loved life. He lived it to the max, to the fullest.
Can you just speak to how much you'll miss him now?
Things will never be the same. Like I will always cherish our relationship, our talks. We talked about everything under the sun. So I'll never forget that. I'll cherish that forever. He was one of a kind for sure. I did a Facebook post out there, and people just spoke volume. It shows volumes because of the things that people spoke and said about him. He was just a kind, sweethearted, genuine individual. He was a rare one. He was one of a kind. He said what was on his mind. He was just a fun person to be around, always making jokes, being a prankster, and just having fun and living life.
And what was your reaction to having that much community support to him?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. I woke up this morning to all kinds of text messages, phone calls, messages in Messenger. People have just been contacting me. Like even my cousin, she always went out with us to Tressmere when we had our little family dinners, and we loved the chicken wing night. And she would come out there with us, and I woke up this morning and she was like, "Cuz, call me." And then I told her, I said, "I guess you know." And she was like, "Yes, I love you so much." She said, "I am so sorry." And she remembered because she was part of those family gatherings and being there with us and spending time with McQuail. So his impact was massive. Because he had a beautiful face, beautiful spirit. You just don't forget that sweet face. He was just a character, and it's just so tragic. It's such a tragic loss to our community, to the Central Health community. He was a major part of Central.
And is there any other way that the community can participate to remember him at this point that you can speak to that you know of?
I mean, I'd just love for all of us to just memorialize him the best way we can. I know the spot where he was killed, I don't know if there's something that we can do as a community to honor him there. And that area is kind of a little tricky spot there, but I think that would be a reminder every time that we pass through there. I actually rode through there last night, and it did give me chills. But I know that life goes on, and we have to keep moving forward. And I can't prevent not going through there because it's a passageway for most of us getting to and from, Madison Heights, downtown area, Kemper Street, Campbell Avenue area. So most of us have to travel that path daily. But it does, it would be hard.
And kind of when you had gone through those chills, what was that emotion that was going through your head when you had to drive through that area?
I don't know, I just got really numb. I got really numb. My daughter was with me in the car. I just got really numb and quiet, and I just kind of silently cried as we drifted through that area.
And is there anything else about kind of his life and his impact on you and your family that you want to add that I didn't ask about?
McQuail was just, like I said earlier, he was just one of a kind individual. And anything you asked of him, he always was there for you. There were times when I had a rough evening or it was chaos on the unit I was working on, and McQuail would always come from around that counter, and he would have his little apron and thing on, and he would come on around the counter, and he would just give me a big hug and go on right back around the counter just to cheer me up. He could tell instantly by the look on your face if you were having a bad day or something went wrong. He was always there to cheer you up.
Well, when my mom was working at Centra at the hospital, she was a nurse there, and she'd been knowing McQuail for almost 13 years. And I remember one morning my dad was picking my mom up when she was working night shift. And McQuail works in the cafeteria at the Virginia Baptist Hospital at Centra. And my mom was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get some breakfast." And she told me, she was like, "Donnie, come on." She was like, "Come on in the cafeteria." She was like, "And also too, I want you to meet somebody." I said, "Okay, Mom, okay." So my mom was getting some breakfast food, and she was like, "I want you to meet somebody." I was like, "Who is this?" And she was like, "My baby McQuail." And I was like, "Oh," he's cute. And then and he was like, "Nice to meet you." And I was like, "Nice to meet you too." And ever since then we clicked in. I said, "He's like my big brother." I said, "I'm gonna call him my big brother." And ever since then, he always called me his little sis, and we instantly clicked. And he came for my high school graduation. I graduated from Amherst County High School, and then he came to my graduation party. And those are pictures and memories I will never forget. And then just to find out yesterday, he passed away. I will miss you, McQuail, and you will always be my big brother, and I love you, and you really broke my heart, and I love you so much.
And kind of what legacy does he leave behind? What was really special and unique to him and his life to you?
He was just he had such a building, uplifting spirit, and everybody loved him in the community, and his family loved him. He would always make you laugh all the time. We'd be cracking up. He'd be posting stuff on Snapchat, Facebook. I'd be responding to his stories. We'd be cutting up. And too, if you came at him some type of way, he would put you in your place. So if I ever needed him, if anybody was picking on me or say anything, all I had to do was call him or message him. He'd be right there. So he was always reliable if I ever needed him for anything.
And having him as kind of that brother figure, how did he kind of impact you and just really support you during your time that you knew him?
Can you repeat that again for
Being
me?
kind of that big brother figure, how did he support you and impact you over that time frame that you knew him of those 13 years?
He just basically like took me under his wing like as a little sister, and just was always there supporting and everything, and he was gonna also come to my business too. He had been telling me for a long time. He was like, sis, I gotta come and make an appointment. I'm a business owner of Boomerang Aesthetics, and my business is located downtown Lynchburg on Jefferson Street here. And he had been saying, I need to come to you. I was like, come on, bro. I was like, come on. And he was like, I got you. He's like, I just been busy working. He said, I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna come down here. I said, okay. I said, you just let me know the day and time, and I'll be happy to pay for you. And then too, it's just really sad that his birthday is next week. His birthday is April 1st. So, and he would turn 34. So, it's just really sad. None of us will get to be able to celebrate his birthday. But hopefully we can do something in honor his memory and his birthday. So,
Do you guys have any plans of doing something like that?
I don't know. Just maybe we could do like a memorial service or do something like celebrate. Maybe go to a restaurant, do like a little celebration or something. So I have to reach out to his family and we can like figure something out.
And he was really always on his motorcycle. That was kind of his favorite mode of transportation. Talk to me about how long he had been riding that and kind of when people would recognize him or see him around. Where did he like to ride? What was that like?
I don't think he had his motorcycle for that long. He loved riding downtown here. I just seen recently on his story that he was riding downtown here with his little dog. It was so cute. And he just loved traveling and driving, going everywhere, just enjoying life.
And with his family, were you close to them as well, or was it mostly him?
I was mainly close to him, but I also knew his brother Montavious too, that I always kept in touch with as well. And every time I used to see his brother, when I used to work at Walgreens, and I used to always see his brother, I said, tell McQuell I said hi, I said hi, and he said, I will. And McQuell would reach out to me. He was like, my brother said you seen him at the store. He told me, and he was like, I thought I had texted you. I said, yeah. I told him to tell you I said hello and asked about you.
And what is the age difference between you and McQuell? How old are you?
I am 21.
Okay.
I'm 21, and then McQuell, he's 33.
Gotcha. And if you had kind of like a thought or a way that you're going to remember McQuell, is there something that you'll hold on to with his legacy in the coming weeks and years to come of him?
All I have is I will always hold on to those pictures and memories that we took of us. Always keep them in my memory. He loved those photos that we took together. And just our conversations. We always used to chat and talk on the phone all the time and message each other on Facebook and Snapchat. I'll never forget those memories.
And if you could say something to McQuell now, what would you say?
Can you repeat
If
that
you
again?
had something to say to McQuell right now, what would you tell him?
I'd tell him, your little sis always loves you and always be there, and if you ever needed anything, I'm here for you. Like we always used to say in our messages.
And kind of going through that grieving process, is there anything that really gives you support and grounds you during this time?
Just having my mom here support with me. I know she's taking it hard, and especially his family and everybody. And I've had family and friends reach out, and I appreciate everybody reaching out to me and my mom.
It's nice to have that. Would you say it's been a community kind of outreach?
It's
during
been a
this time?
community outreach, and then by my mom's post on Facebook, really reached out to everybody, posting it, and that's how you reached out to me, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, Rachel.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
And kind of with any other favorite attributes of McQuell that you can speak to, if it was his light, his laugh, any kind of main things that you'll always remember about him?
He was such a comedian, I tell you that. He was a prankster. I never forget on Snapchat, I still got this video. He pranked up Miss Hazel, Hazel Beverly. She's his work mom, and of course McQuell was her work son. And every time at the Virginia Baptist Hospital cafeteria in the cooler, he'd come out the cooler and he record her, and he would scare her, pop behind her, and she would freak out. And it was so funny, and I was like, "Why you do her like that?" And he was like, "Man, it's funny." I was like, "I ain't gonna even lie." I said, "It's funny." I said, "I agree with you." So I'll never forget that.
I love it. So he was really impacted those with joy and laughter, and I love it. Oh, and
He would put a smile on your face, especially if you were having a rough day, or he was always encouraging, and if you were having a bad day, he would always like try to make you laugh somehow.
And would you say you'll miss him a lot?
I will miss him very much.
And is there anything else that I didn't ask about that you want to add?
I think so. I just pray for his family, and pray for all his and family and his friends, and we're just gonna keep McQuell's legacy alive, and really celebrate him, especially when his birthday coming up next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Denise.
Thank
Appreciate
you so much. Thank you.
I know